The iconic boat is the Skipjack. Yeah. It's just everybody that lives here knows someone who has been on or owned or worked on a skipjack. By the time that World War I came around, this massive fleet of dredging boats, which were 700 in number in the middle of the 1800s, had dropped down to probably a tenth that much. So we decided we would look into buying one and fixing it up, preserving it. To say, we did this survey of all the boats, picked one, and it was Martha Lewis. Martha Lewis was then taken up to Havre de Grace, where we found a place where the city and the local maritime museum. The boat then started giving up its secrets. It was not just a boat in the water. It had pieces and parts. This book that I've written about it has the most detailed description of the bones of a skipjack that's out there, even including Brewington's book. So that I think it could become a reference for this particular subject. But anyway, while Alan was building on this boat, I went around to meet all the people that had built the boat, that had worked the boat through its entire history. I met them, their families, got their stories, I recorded them, and that's all in really in the first portion of the book. When they were made by carpenters along the shores, the carpenters would do their own work. They would sell them some, but they could go for several $100s in the old days. Because they were not terribly expensive, they were also disposable. So the owners would keep them up. They would patch them. They would replace wood when it rotted until they just plain ran out of energy or money, and then they just ran them up into the mud, and that's where they died. They're important really because they are like an emblem, an icon for the Chesapeake Bay history. Nowhere else. It's the last sailing fishing boat in America. Yeah. And so, but fading away. There are probably no more than about 7 right now that are scraping oysters off the bottom.